Hello, this is Dr. Jessica Han. Today I'm going to continue with the endocrine system. The pineal gland is a gland found in the midbrain region. It is located right here and it is attached to the roof of the third ventricle. The function of the pineal gland is to synthesize a hormone called melatonin to control the circadian rhythms. This hormone is being synthesized from serotonin during the night. The seasonal fluctuation will affect the amount of the melatonin. When we expose under the bright light 2 to 3 hours per day, will reduce the melatonin levels. There's a seasonal disorder called SAD occurs in winter or northern climates where people will develop the symptoms such as depression, sleepiness, irritability, and carbohydrate craving. 2 to 3 hours of exposure to bright light each day will reduce the melatonin levels and the symptoms. The function of melatonin is to control mood, sleep cycle, and the sexual organ maturation. Thymus gland is located right above the heart. It plays important role in endocrine, lymphatic, and immune systems. The major function of thymus is produce the maturation of the T cells to help with the defense. There are three hormones being synthesized within the thymus: thymopoietin, thymosin, thymulin. They function together to stimulate the development of the lymphatic organs and regulate the activity and the maturation of the T cells. Thyroid gland looks like a butterfly shape, is located around the trachea right below the voice box. It secretes calcitonin that regulates the calcium balance. It also secretes tetroidothyronine, triiodothyronine. These two hormones will elevate metabolic rate, heart production, increase respiratory rate, strength of the heartbeat, and stimulate the alertness of the reflexes, promote the function of digestive system, growth hormone secretion, and the growth of hair, nail, teeth, and the fetal nerve system. Parathyroid gland has four glands embedded within the thyroid gland will produce parathyroid hormone, which regulates the calcium metabolism. Adrenal gland is located right above the kidney. It has two parts. One is the core part called adrenal medulla. The outside part is called adrenal cortex. Adrenal medulla can function as both an endocrine gland and a ganglia. It contains ganglionic fibers that can be innervated by sympathetic system. There are three hormones being synthesized from adrenal medulla: epinephrine, norepinephrine, and dopamine. The function of those hormones are regulating the metabolic rate, respiration rate, circulation rate, and maintaining glucose homeostasis. Adrenal cortex is the outside of the adrenal gland. It secretes several corticosteroid hormones. These hormones include glucocorticoids and androgens. Aldosterone is a hormone target on kidney that produce the water balance, potassium balance, maintain the blood pressure and volume. Cortisol and the corticosterone will target most of tissues in the body to stimulate the nutrient metabolism, stress resistance, and tissue repair. Dihydroepiandrosterone will regulate bone, muscle, integument, brain, and many other tissues health, and it regulates the secondary sexual characteristics such as pubic and axillary hair growth, apocrine glands, and the fetal male reproductive tract. The cortex and the medulla of the adrenal glands that are not functionally independent. Sometimes medulla will go on atrophy without the stimulation of the cortisol hormone secreted from the cortex. Chromaffin cells of medulla stimulate the cortex to secrete corticosteroids when stress activates the sympathetic nervous system. Pancreas is a very important gland in our body. It functions as both endocrine and exocrine gland. It plays important role in regulating the glucose homeostasis. The hormones released from the pancreas include glucagon, insulin, amylin, somatostatin, gastrin. The glucagon and the insulin are regulating glucose homeostasis together. Glucagon will increase blood glucose level. Insulin will decrease blood glucose level. Amylin is secreted with insulin. It also helps regulate the glucose homeostasis, and it can also modulate the secretion of gastric enzyme, acid bile, and inhibit glucagon secretion. Somatostatin will modulate digestion, nutrient absorption, and glucagon insulin secretion. Gastrin will stimulate acid secretion and promote gastric movement. Gonads are reproductive organs, include ovaries and testes. Those are both endocrine and exocrine glands. They secrete hormones and gamete cells. Ovarian hormones include estradiol, progesterone, and inhibin. Testis hormones include testosterone, androgen, estrogen, and inhibin. The function of these hormones secreted from the ovary are listed here. Inhibin will inhibit the follicle-stimulating hormone secretion. The progesterone will target on uterus mammary glands to regulate menstrual cycle and pregnancy. Estradiol will stimulate female reproductive system development and adolescent growth. This hormone can also regulate the menstrual cycle and pregnancy, prepares mammary glands for lactation. Testes will secrete testosterone and inhibin. Testosterone can stimulate fetal and adolescent reproductive development, the musculoskeletal growth, sperm production, and the libido. Inhibin will inhibit the follicle-stimulate hormone secretion. Hormones secreted by other organs are listed in this table. Some hormones are being secreted from kidney, liver, or skin. For example, hormones released from the skin are the precursor of calcitriol. This is active hormone in kidney, regulate calcium homeostasis. Erythropoietin is a hormone being synthesized in kidney, targets the red bone marrow to promote the red blood cell production. There are many hormones are being synthesized in the liver. Calcidol, that's another precursor of calcitriol. And angiotensinogen, it's a precursor of angiotensin being synthesized in the liver. Erythropoietin also promotes the red blood cell production. Hepcidin is a hormone regulates the plasma iron level. Insulin-like growth factor in the liver target many tissues to mediate action of growth hormone. Other hormones are secreted by heart, GI tract, adipose tissue, bone, and placenta are listed in this table here. Natriuretic peptides are secreted from the heart. Target organ is kidney to lower the blood volume and the pressure by promoting sodium and water loss. There are many hormones being synthesized in the stomach and the intestine, and those hormones are going to stimulate the digestion and the movement of the GI tract. Adipose tissue will secrete leptin, which limits appetite over long term. The bone tissue will secrete osteocalcin to increase insulin secretion to stimulate beta cell multiplication in the pancreas. Placenta release hormones such as estrogen and progesterone. Those are the sex hormones, stimulate fetal development and the maternal bodily adaptation to pregnancy. This hormone also prepare mammary glands for lactation. In summary, we have talked about all the glands in the endocrine system. These glands include hypothalamus, pituitary gland, pineal gland, thymus, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, pancreas, adrenal gland, and gonad. In addition to those glands, there are other organs such as heart, liver, kidney, skin, bone tissue. Placenta also secrete hormones to help maintain body homeostasis.